DeSanto Propane is 4 generations strong as a trustworthy, family-owned business with unmatched customer service. Go online at DeSantoPropane.com for more info or call toll-free at 1-800-752-4574 today. Since 1937, the difference has been DeSanto Propane.
What's going on, guys? I'm Josh Durso in for Jim Sinacropi here on FLX Weekly. He'll be back with a regular show next week, but in the meantime, I wanted to get on here and share a recent conversation with Kelly Fisher from Girls on the Run Greater Rochester. They serve a bunch of counties here in the Finger Lakes, including Ontario, Wayne, and Yates. Their mission is pretty simple: to help connect young girls with running. Coming up in May will be their flagship event where hundreds of students between the 3rd and 8th grade run a 5K at Monroe Community College. Kelly is the executive director of Girls on the Run of Greater Rochester and talked to us about how the organization came to be, how new students and schools can get involved, and what exactly the months leading up to these twice annual 5Ks look like. Check it out. Tell us a little bit about the organization itself, Girls on the Run, its roots, where it started, and where it is today.
Girls on the Run is actually an international organization. We're in U.S. and Canada, and it started in North Carolina in 1996 and has spread throughout the whole country. Our council in Rochester started in 2010, and it's been about 15 years now that we've been around in the Rochester area. And our council specifically serves girls in Monroe, Ontario, Wayne, and Livingston counties. And the mission of our organization is to inspire girls to be healthy, confident, and joyful through a life skills curriculum and also through running or movement, not just running, but walking and the physical activity portion. Our vision is a world where every girl can realize her limitless potential. And we try to achieve that through a program that we run typically after school. We run 2 seasons every year, and the teams are led by volunteer coaches that are trained, and they learn a life skills curriculum where they learn different skills like how to find your unique self, how to find friends, what makes a good friend, how to be a good friend, how to feel confident in your abilities, how to use your voice, and how to set goals and achieve them. And they do that through setting a large goal of running a 5K at the end of the season and breaking that into smaller chunks, smaller goals they can achieve each practice and build on to ultimately, cross the finish line and realize that they did something they didn't think they could originally do.
I was going to say, what's it like seeing what winds up being dozens, if not hundreds of girls cross the finish line each year at the end of that whole process?
It's so joyful. We call it a celebration because that's really what it is. It's a celebration of the hard work that the girls have put in throughout the 10-week season. It's just joyful. I mean, if you can imagine 900 3rd through 8th grade girls and their families and their supporters, their coaches, there's music, it's just a very positive, uplifting event. And, I've been doing this for over 7 years now, and I still get teary at the finish line seeing the girls cross because you can just see that joy on their face, that pride in their accomplishment, and just seeing all the support from their coaches and their families it's moving. I started as a running buddy with my niece, and that's kind of how I got roped in. Not roped in, but I just couldn't believe, the impact, and I wanted to be part of it. So now it's just part of, what I do and who I am. It's just really, really important.
Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about how this has sort of grown since running has become more of a fashionable, I guess, thing people think about doing. Obviously, people are pretty familiar with the growth of run clubs since COVID, and that's actually how I got connected with you guys as well. That growth, how has that impacted either the number of students and kids you see getting engaged with it, or even just their interest toward it? Like, is it greater now because of just sort of the energy that's behind the running community?
I think so. Yeah. I think, a lot of girls are looking for an activity. At that age, you're trying to find what you like and what you don't like and trying out different maybe sports and teams and clubs. And, so you see girls have this opportunity to try running, and it's not for everybody, but it's that opportunity to try it at that young age to see if that's, something that is they're really passionate about. Part of the lessons help the girls process emotions during the movement portion. So it's
Hmm.
learning to use running or walking as a time in your day that you can process your emotions, maybe your challenges, maybe, give yourself time to think. So it's kind of teaching girls to tie that mental component to the physical part. I think that's, when I talk to the adults that are coaching and volunteering, a lot of them really identify with that. So I think, the growth of the running clubs and everything, we do get a lot of community involvement from people who say, this has really helped me in my life. I would love to give back and teach this to girls at a younger age. A lot of the coaches are, you know, parents or teachers or community members, and they say, I wish I had this when I was this age. I wish I discovered this kind of tool for myself earlier in life. And I was definitely in that boat. I started running in college, and I had tried different sports, and trying to run and kick a ball or catch a ball was hard for me
Yeah.
personally. So if I had had something like this, I think I really would have, you know, found that passion earlier. So it's really inspiring to be able to, show that to girls starting in third grade and have them be able to. Some of them go on. We've gotten messages from alumni that started in Girls on the Run, and now they're running in college, and you know, they think back to their time at Girls on the Run is when they started that passion.
Yeah. And it is such a crucial age too. It's right at that point where interest in activities like running can really blossom into really cool passions for the rest of their life. How many schools are involved? I know we talked a little bit about this before, but I'm curious how many schools in total are involved right now in this?
So the spring season is our little bit of our larger season. So we have about 60 schools involved this spring. And in the fall, we typically have about 30. So anywhere from 80 to 90 per year schools involved. And we have a lot of schools that repeat and have been with us since the beginning. And then a lot of new schools are also joining each season too. So that's cool to see.
And the reason why I ask is because you mentioned the counties that you guys sort of cover and envelop in that. And all I can think about is the logistical effort that it must be on the administrative side to make this work across 80 plus school districts twice a year, uh, across 4 or 5 counties at least. Can you just talk to us a little bit about what that looks like? How any of you have your sanity still intact?
It's funny you're asking me that right now at this point in the season because, we're heading into our 5K planning, and it's logistically, I think we just keep trying new things to see how we can improve each season and get a little better with each process. We really lean heavily on volunteers. So I have to say our staff is pretty small. We have 4 staff. I'm the only full-time staff, and we have a part-time program coordinator, part-time community outreach coordinator, and then a social media intern. So we are small staff-wise, so we really lean heavily on volunteers to help us. So for example, all the teams get t-shirts that they wear to the 5K. So we have volunteers that are driving shirts out to Livonia and Red Creek, and some of these places are an hour plus away. So we really try to divide and conquer so there's not just one person um, doing all the heavy lifting. And also, our volunteer coaches, they do come out to the office to pick up materials. And so it's really, I would say the volunteers, we have 300 volunteer coaches every year. But on top of that, we have probably another 100 plus that help us with all the logistics, delivering the shirts, delivering the training. So all the coaches do training, helping with the 5K packet pickup that's going to be coming up, volunteering at the 5K like your group has done. Those are just crucial to us, really volunteer led. So that's, I would say, how we're able to accomplish everything that we have to get done.
So I got a bit of a two-parter here. First part is you mentioned volunteers. Do you need volunteers still? And if people are listening and watching this, how can they get involved or potentially be a volunteer? If not at this one coming up in the spring, the one coming up in the fall. And the second part to that is for those who maybe can't volunteer but want to give back or help the organization in some other way, monetarily or otherwise, what's the best process for that?
So, yes, we do still need volunteers for the spring. The spring 5K is May 16th. And, if you're not available that day specifically, we do have other activities kind of leading up to that, like packing the Running Buddy packets, organizing the t-shirts, counting out pins and everything for the bibs. So the best way to get involved to be a volunteer, and I will say for the 5K, we have a number of different roles. So sometimes we get asked, like, is this suitable for children? So I would say we have jobs that would be suitable for children if they come with an adult. Like the water stops are really fun, so kids can help hand out water. And we've had like sports teams take over a water stop and hand out water and play music, and that's really fun for them for team building as well. The course marshal jobs are more for adults because that would, require a little bit more directing traffic and keeping an eye out for safety. But we do have like handing out snack at the finish line. Kids could help with that. So there's a variety of roles that we're looking for. So yeah, the best way to get involved would be to go to our website, and that's www.g. And if you click on the 5K tab, it'll take you to the K page, and that's where you can sign up to be a volunteer. You'll also find like my contact information and the other staff. If you had questions, you could email us, or our phone numbers on there. You could give us a call. And then if someone wanted to assist monetarily by giving a donation, you can also do that on our website, support us tab, and you could click on that. And there's actually multiple ways people can support. You can give a donation right on the website, or like a monthly donation. And those donations help us. We give scholarships to between 30 and 40% of our participants every season. So the girls that want to participate, but there's a financial barrier, we've never turned anybody away ever. So we've always been able to give a scholarship to any child that needs it. And there's not like a lengthy process at all. It's they apply during registration and they receive it. There's a sliding scale. And we also give free registration to entire teams that are in like high poverty school districts and areas. And also the girls who need sneakers are able to get brand new running sneakers. We have a national partnership with Adidas. So they get brand new high quality running sneakers, socks, sports bras, anything they need to comfortably and safely participate in running. We're able to provide that. And that's through, donors and sponsors. And, we have corporate sponsorship opportunities as well for companies that want to, come to our 5K and get some visibility and be on the t-shirt, and also just have like a really fun way to give back with their company. So you can do that through our website as well in the support me tab. There's also something that might be interesting to the runners out there. You can do like a charity fundraising during your training for a specific event. So it's called Soulmates, and you sign up for whatever race you're doing, and you can choose to support Girls on the Run during your training by asking for donations and kind of getting some visibility on our social media and us sending you fun goer gear.
Awesome. Awesome stuff. We'll put all the links in the show notes to what Kelly was just walking us through. Last question for you. Supposing there is someone at some school district somewhere in your region here that hasn't heard of Girls on the Run or is now interested in getting involved, and they're a complete newbie to the program, what's that onboarding process look like, and how quickly can a school or a class or an educator or someone get involved and then get their students involved?
So our next season will be in the fall. So there's plenty of time for a new school to join for the fall. That season starts in September and goes through November. So the 5K will be in November. So there is on our website as well, like start a team. They can click on start a team, and there's an information packet on what is needed. So they can start gathering, like, you need 2 coaches to volunteer. You need to get approval from the school, from the principal, like, is it okay if we do this here? Finding like where we're going to meet, where we're going to run, and then connecting up with us to help with that process. So there's an application right on the website. You fill it out, and then our program coordinator will reach out to whoever filled it out and get that process going. So to start in September, the deadline to do all that is typically like the beginning of August. So just to put a little time frame in mind, but that's plenty of time. And some schools choose to do the spring session because fall can be a little hectic for teachers and families. And that spring session will start next year in March. So plenty of time to get going with that.
Fair. And since it's literally snowing outside right now, August feels like an absolute lifetime away.
It
Uh,
does.
Kelly, thanks so much for the time today. We appreciate you taking it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.